Hi everyone, welcome back to Travel on the Cheap. It's Jo here. Today I'm going to share how I plan a big trip and why, for me, planning is only half the fun. We retired from full-time work over 10 years ago with one simple idea: travel for as long as we can. Either the money's going to run out or our health's going to run out, whichever comes first. So far we're still chugging along and sticking to the plan. Over the years, we've learned how to travel the world cheaply without feeling like we're missing out. In fact, some of our best adventures have come from being flexible, creative, and willing to try things that aren't in the standard travel brochures. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I plan our big trips without a travel agent, and how I keep the costs down while still having an incredible experience. Starting with the first deal. Most of our trips begin with a bargain, which I can spot, or an RV swap. I'm always scanning the horizon looking for opportunities. This time, for a trip this year, it was a cheap repositioning cruise from Miami to Barcelona that I spotted 18 months ago. That same cruise is now worth about another $4,000, so that's a saving in itself. Once I've grabbed the first deal, in this example it's the cruise, I build the rest of the trip around it. That's how Greece and the Balkans ended up on the itinerary this year. Another cruise, a rental car, and a flexible 3-week road trip. RV swaps are our secret weapon. One of the biggest ways we've saved money over the years is through RV swaps. We've done 8 big overseas trips and 11 RV exchanges this way. People come to New Zealand and use our RV, and we in return go to their country and use theirs. It's a brilliant way to travel cheaply and see a country like a local. Next month, a couple from Canada is coming to take our caravan and truck for 4 weeks. And next year, we're going to go over and pick up their RV in Canada and drive it up to Alaska. They're going to fly and meet us and drive it back. It's such a clever, affordable way to travel, and it's become one of our many secret weapons for travel on the cheap. This is the kind of creative travel that has saved us thousands. This is what we're planning for 2026. This year is another big one for us. I'm currently planning 4 cruises, including 2 free cruises, a 3-week road trip around Greece, a stopover in Dubai, a caravan, New Zealand road trip in our caravan, and later in the year, another cruise to LA, where we'll fly home in the middle of the caravan trip. And in 2027, we're already sketching out the return RV swap to Alaska. Again, we're going to tie it into repositioning cruise and a couple of free cruises if I can find them. What about these free cruises? You'll be scratching your head thinking, how can we have free cruises? Well, I was scratching my head too, but here's how we did it. 2 of the cruises we're doing this year are actually casino offers, free except for taxes and port fees, which come to about 10% of the normal fare. We unlocked them on our last Royal Caribbean cruise from Barcelona to Brisbane. Now, we're not gamblers, but we're calculated risk takers. We treated the casino like a job. We kept careful records of what we spent, and eventually the offers started coming in. In fact, I just got some offers in my email today. I'm not going to go into the details yet. I want to give it a full 12 months before I do a proper review on whether it's worth it. But for now, those two free cruises are simply part of a travel on the cheap strategy. You've got to be ready for opportunities. Now, you wonder, why don't I use a travel agent? I could get a travel agent, but honestly, I love the challenge. Planning is half the fun for me. I like doing it when it suits me, grabbing the deals when they pop up, and shaping the trip exactly how we like to travel. Flexible, cheap, and low stress. Very important at our age. I start with an overall plan and gradually shape it up until all the boxes are ticked and everything is planned and paid for. I enjoy browsing ideas and deals in the evening while we're watching TV on my laptop. And the truth is, agents often book what's easy, not what's clever. Here's how I book flights. I start looking about 6 months out, and once I know my dates, I use Skyscanner and Google Flights and set price alerts so I'm ready to grab a good fare if it drops. We prefer direct flights, or at least ones without self-transfers. We've had some very stressful airport dashes in the past, so simple is best. I don't pay for seats when I book. I wait until check-in opens and choose them for free. We always go for aisle seats so we can stretch and move easily. I also try to keep a positive mindset about long flights. So many people complain about long flights. It's the one time I get served, relax and just chill out. Long flights are part of living in New Zealand. So I settle in, enjoy the movies and make the most of it. And one last tip, airport shuttles can save a lot of money on taxis, especially in the big cities. And especially if they're shuttles to your hotel, it's even better. Another point, insurance in airports, very important for cheap travel. One thing I always make sure of when planning a big trip is travel insurance. I recently upgraded my credit card to a Visa Platinum, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out the insurance kicks in from the day you book your return ticket, as long as you've put at least 50% of your trip costs on the card. The big bonus for me, though, was that the cover will last up to 90 days. It used to only be 40 days with my old card, and for travellers over 75, you can pay a small additional fee of only $150 to extend the cover, which makes it a very affordable option. We had a medical incident on our last cruise, and the credit card insurance handled it smoothly. Whew, thank goodness for that. When I compared it to a separate insurance quote of around $3,500, the savings were huge. As an extra bonus, this card earns air points. These points are actually paying for our flights from Brisbane back to New Zealand. So it's definitely worth checking what your credit card includes, because the savings can really add up when you want to travel on the cheap. How do we choose our accommodation? In the big cities, I book hotels close to attractions. Staying far out might save money on the room, but it can cost a lot more in transport and stress. We're very conscious these days of keeping our stress down and not getting too tired. We can't quite hack the pace like we used to, like spending the night in the airport instead of getting a hotel. Now we just pay for the hotel, because otherwise the next day is a write-off. You have to know your limits, or you'll end up spoiling your holiday by trying too hard to save money. Hotels with breakfast included are an added bonus. And Airbnbs can be great in the quieter neighbourhoods or smaller towns where you can mix with the locals. But we've learned the hard way in New York. Staying too far out meant long subway rides, expensive Ubers, and a lot of stress. Tick, lesson learnt. Not going there again. My planning system, my crazy system, you'll probably think. This is the part of travel I love. I love the planning. I use ChatGPT to help with routes, ideas, and deals. And I like to visualize each leg of the journey. I book one stage at a time, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos about cruises and destinations to get a feel for what's ahead. Food is one area we save a lot. We stick to street food, bakeries, and have a chili bag with food from the supermarket for our road trips. We don't eat out much on land anymore. After years of cruising, we've been spoiled by having dinner out every night. Keeping meals simple works for us and keeps the costs down. I create my own itinerary in Word on my laptop, and I still like to print off all my bookings. I know everything is on my phone, and I do use the apps, but I'm old school too, and I like to think in the worst case scenario, I can read a piece of paper where I may not be able to access it on my phone. I also like paper copies of our passports and visas. It just gives me peace of mind. I track all of our costs in Excel. I start with an estimated cost for everything we can pay for in advance and list it down. Then I have another column for the actual costs and another to mark when it's been paid. It helps me feel in control of our finances. I also budget between $800 and $1,000 a week for spending money. We usually come home with some left over, but it's great to have it there just in case there's something special we'd like to do. For example, we did a helicopter trip over the Grand Canyon many years ago, and it was money well spent. I genuinely loved the dreaming, scheming, and watching it all come together. So let's wrap up. That's how I plan our big trips without a travel agent, and how we've managed to travel the world for over a decade on a budget. If you enjoy planning, if you enjoy the challenge, if you love the anticipation as much as the trip itself, then this approach might work for you too. Feel free to comment if you have any questions or if you've got travel tips of your own to share. I'm always open to new ideas. Thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time on my Travel on the Cheap channel. And there's always one more. If you're interested, I also have another channel, Rock Till We Drop, where I talk about the rest of my crazy life and love to share ideas and inspiration. See you next time. Ciao for now.